me see. There we go. You may not be able to see me that well, but we're going to start off with, I would be totally remiss if I did not mention Mr. Tony, who held this position for many, many years, who's a legend in this community and everybody loves. He had established a great rapport with everyone with questioning and going out in the community and being very visible. We welcome you. And I feel as though just interacting with your personality, we've already fallen in love with you in this community. Again, what's your name?
Carmen Ketron.
Carmen, I am Lamont. Nice to meet you this morning. My first question is, what's the best way? We're fastly approaching the winter season, and a lot of people have trees, whether from plum trees, lemon trees, different variety of trees. What would you suggest to them to help safeguard and protect their trees or plants for the winter months?
The first big thing that we want to do is when a nice cold snap is coming and we're getting a little bit colder, like a drop in temperature below 32 degrees, we want to make sure that we get a good watering in the night before. Watering the plants and getting the roots full of water will actually help prevent it from being freezing the tissue in your leaves, in your stems. So watering is the first line of defense. Second to that, we want to make sure the plants are happy and healthy and that they are mulched so that it actually has a little blanket for the roots to kind of be insulated. Additionally, if we have some of the trees that still have leaves on them, or we have an early snap, we want to make sure that we can cover it. And we want to cover it with some type of a landscape fabric. So we want to stay away from the plastic, but we want to use either a frost bag or some type of a sheet that will actually insulate it without it having those plastic properties that can sometimes wreck it. I like to use a bag or make a little tripod over your tree so that if it's extra windy too, the bag won't actually start ripping and tearing some of the branches.
Okay, great. My next question is, I know that people could just maybe starting out in a new home, they want to start planting trees and also planting flowers. I know they used to do a soil sample here to test the soil. So how are we with that now? Are you able to still bring it here? Or what's the best measure for maybe someone who doesn't live here to find out about their soil?
Yeah, so the soil sample is the best way. I like to say that it's a mix of a crystal ball and a Price Club discount membership, because it will help us determine exactly what you need, and we'll be able to dial it in so you're not wasting money spreading stuff that you don't need. It comes in this little bag right here, our beautiful soil sample bag. And ideally, all you have to do is go around your garden area that you want to see, and you want to take maybe a couple scoops down about 4 to 6 inches, and you want to put them in a bucket. I take like 1 scoop, and then I go to another location for about 6 to 8 different times, put them all in that bucket, and then I grab about 2 cups from that, put it in our bag. Now, you just get to write whatever you want. So if you're doing it just for your lawn, you want to write what type of lawn you have. If you're doing it for your fruit trees, write down exactly what kind of fruit trees you have, because a lot of the times you have different fertilizer requirements for different fruit trees. Now, what you can do is you can either drop it off at one of our offices. We have one for every county in the state, or you can mail it directly to the lab up in Clemson. So you've got a couple different options for you, but either way, you'll get the results back in about 10 to 14 days. And if none of it makes sense to you, you can just call up either HGIC, our Home and Garden Information Center, or the county offices, and we can interpret the results for you to give you exact recommendations for how we can make it a little bit better. Fall is the best time to do it, because that will give you time to amend your soil during the winter in time for it to take a lot of great stuff for spring. Be ready for spring, ready to go.
Okay. Lastly, a person or a young person who's in school that may be interested in going into agriculture, what would be your best suggestion to tell them to help lead them or guide them in that type of direction? And what are the benefits of being in agriculture?
Well, the best part about being in agriculture is a lot of people don't realize what agriculture encompasses these days. A lot of the times we've started calling it agribusiness, where you're getting into not only working in the fields, but working in engineering and robotics for some of our mechanical processes. You're working in packaging sciences to make sure that we can get goods from one location to another while keeping them fresh and delicious. It runs the gamut all the way to rural health and water resources. So a lot of what Clemson and Clemson Extension is looking for in the new generation of agricultural specialists really is wide and improved, including, not to mention, financing, accounting. All these are specialized for agriculture, and we need new beginning a generation of people and graduates. So my biggest thing is get involved in your 4-H program. Right now we have a number of junior leadership programs. It's not just doing chicken shows anymore. It's learning about how to make healthy life decisions, how to get into business, how to run a business. And then from there, we want to start looking into our community, and Clemson Extension is a great resource for you to come in and see what kind of leadership opportunities you as a young person can have. So just come on in and we'll get you set up with whatever your heart desires.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right.